What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. And if you stick around and watch this and you decide that you love the energy here, you love the vibes, you feel the love, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell for all to be notified when I post new readings. If you don't tap the bell, especially for all to be notified, YouTube probably won't show you anything. So you're going to want to do that if you want to stay up to date with what's coming out. And I hope that you stick around and you stay. Be sure to comment. I want to interact with you guys. The energy I'm picking up here, it's self-care. I'm going to tell you off the bat, self-care and love is key. And I know some of y'all might be getting a little tired of that. It's like every time you turn around, that's what you're being told to do. But we're going to break it down for you. We're going to break it down. I kept picking up on expansion, and then like this restriction of it. Almost like somebody was like an energy ball and like someone was crushing the expansion for a second and then allowing it a little bit and then crushing it again. I split that into two different groups and I was able to see which one of y'all was doing what in this energy. So I decided, okay, well, let me see another way to define this expansion. What am I seeing here? What am I feeling? And I got from my soul sister, Jennifer, Aquarius Tarot's deck, I got growth and the tree, right? This need to expand, this need to sprout up. This is the deck I'm using. This need to come forward. And I'm like, okay, what is this restriction? Why is there this huge energy ball and then this collapsing of energy and then an expansion again? And from that same deck, we got the turtle. Shout out to all the turtle clan out there. What's up? OCO to my Cherokee people. What's happening? Because I feel like some of you are watching. And we have slow down, have patience, right? So I started allowing myself to go a little bit deeper into this vision, a little bit deeper into this energy. Between these two groups, you're having similar problems, obviously for different reasons, and we're going to make it make sense. For some of you in this growth group, you need to stop. You need to take a pause, and you need to chill before you make yourself sick. I feel like some of you are a one woman, one man show. Whatever business you have, or if you're like the main breadwinner of the family, you do everything, even when there are other people that can do the job. It's like, imagine you have a secretary, right? And the secretary is supposed to accept the emails and check the calls and do all that. Well, you find yourself still going behind that person, not because you don't trust them, but it's the perfectionist in you. So some of you could be Virgo because there is a lot of water and earth energy here. I'm going to break that down too. But it's like this energy of, I have to make sure it's done right. I have to double check. I got to stay on top of it. And you've been doing this to the extent that you're ignoring your body. You're ignoring your spirit. And another thing I was seeing too is I kept seeing both masculines and feminines. It's like, imagine you get up in the morning and you start your day at 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. And I feel like both of those times are, important for you guys for different reasons. But imagine you're getting up at those times. All day, work all day, barely have time for a lunch, and by the time you're done with work, whether you're working from home, whatever work translates to for you, you only have time in your mind to eat, shower, sleep, wake up, repeat. And some of you do this from Monday through to Sunday with no rest, no day off, just going like if the little engine could break down, you would be the breakdown of that engine because you just keep going. And I feel like you were maybe seeing a result with something at one period, especially before March. And then it was like March hit and everything just started to kind of slow down again, that crushing of energy. So that energy that was expanding, once you got unhealthy in it, it started to go down. So there was this halt in whatever you were working on. Maybe something that was bringing in money started bringing in money less. And instead of you seeing that as, okay, instead of me stressing out, let me look from a different angle. Let me take a moment to meditate. Let me take a moment to chill. I've been neglecting self. Maybe this is a sign. Most of you took it as, I gotta work harder. And what happened? Things slowed down even more. I don't want you guys to take this slow down and have patience for all of you to mean that everything has to be agonizingly slow. Because when most people think turtle, pentacle energy, they think slow, right? It's really about the growthing process and things having to sprout in their own divine timing. So with the mixture of the tree and the turtle, we're speaking divine timing. It doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. It doesn't mean that you're not still, planting your seeds and coming outside and watering them, making sure the sun is getting on them, and checking your little greenhouse. I'm using this analogy to kind of help you guys see what I'm seeing. It's not saying that you're not doing all those things, but I feel like some of you were expecting for stuff that should sprout in summer to sprout in winter, if that makes sense. It's like you were expecting for something to stay consistent throughout seasons that it wouldn't be able to breathe in the first place. And spirit doesn't want you, the divine doesn't want you to rush it. And I feel like some of you communicate with your higher self and you communicate with your ancestors very well, but you don't listen all the time. You can sit down and have a conversation and have your dreams and your visions, and then you wake up and do the opposite of what they say. And so now their way of teaching you, your higher self way of teaching you a lesson, is to say, okay, we're going to put a pause on everything then. Right? We're going to pause everything down until you take care of yourself. I want you to see that you're the tree here. Normally people would think of their business, that you're the tree. And it takes time to get to that point where that tree can start to sprout those apples or sprout those different fruits of your labor that you're trying to bring in here. And some of you just wanted it to come too fast and you put too much into it and you're burning out. The other group I was picking up on, that group actually hasn't seen many results. That group, it's not that you've been making yourself sick physically or anything, but you have been stressing over the fact that you've been investing a lot of time, a lot of money into something. For some of you, it's something about time. Time keeps popping up here. I think someone feels like they're on a deadline for something, or they want to see that maybe an opportunity is coming up and they don't want to miss it, but they don't feel prepared for it. So they've been putting their money into something, putting more time into something, and they were expecting results as far back as like February, least of all March, and it was like nothing came in, or maybe whatever was coming was really slow, like a snail, because I'm seeing a snail slowly inch across the floor. And now you're starting to get discouraged. Now you're starting to get disheartened. But what's happening here is you're kind of in that Seven of Pentacles energy. You've planted a seed. It's not, you set it and forget it. I don't always like to use that term when referencing plants all the time, because truthfully, we go out, we water our plants, we make sure they're getting some sun, but you're not sitting in the dang greenhouse or sitting in your backyard all day just watching the plant, waiting for hours and days. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? That's what some of you were kind of doing. Like, yeah, you were investing in your skill in your project, but then you were just like staring at it and expecting it to just sprout the next morning. That's something you have in common with the other group. That's not how this works. So it's about allowing things to expand. If you keep trying to make something bloom before it's ready, if you keep trying to box things to fit a certain structure so that it happens when you want it to happen, you will restrict the energy that is trying to help you right now. And I feel like for all of you, what you're reaching for, it's right there. It's right there in front of you, but you're not allowing yourself to really process and accept it. I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm saying when I say this. It's about the solutions, not focusing and manifesting the problems. Sometimes you guys get caught up in thinking about what isn't going right, what's not working, which is fine if it was through evaluation, but you do it in this way where you find other things that don't work. And so then what happens? You manifest other things that don't work. And then you don't know what the solution is because you're too busy worrying about the problem. Come out of just focusing on the problem and instead focus on the solutions. And for many of you, the solution is chill. Have a seat. Breathe. Do some breath work. Relax your mind. You're pushing yourself too far, too fast, and you're going to burn out if you're not careful. And for the others, you're going to find yourself in this energy of, okay, an opportunity comes and you can't even accept it because you're so worried about not being ready. So I feel like some of you should be spending this time not only doing some cleansings, doing some meditations, but also spending this time gaining more knowledge about what it is you're trying to do. I keep seeing somebody wanting to invest in like Bitcoin or some type of like cryptocurrency, and you're scared. So I'm gonna, again, I can just channel what I'm getting guidance on. I'm not here to be your financial expert, your health expert. I can tell you what the divine is saying to you, but it's up to you what you do. Always seek, quote unquote professional. I have to legally say these things. Seek a professional. But one thing that you will hear most investors tell you, whether they're the person who has invested or whether they're the expert that you go to, is they'll say you start off by investing what you're not afraid to lose. Some of you are afraid to lose $1, like a single dollar bill that you might spend on a freaking bag of chips, but you're afraid to lose it if it came to investing in yourself. That's a problem. Think about what you're saying. Think about the energy. So even though you might be saying, I want to do this, I'm manifesting that, your actions in that subconscious mind or that dark part of your consciousness is working against you, because you don't even see yourself or your idea or whatever it is you're trying to do worth investing $1 in. Least of all, once you've actually put a little coin into something and it didn't blossom the way that you wanted it to. You have to change your mentality. Don't invest when you're in negative vibration. That's number one. Number two, when you invest, it is what it is. It's like, this is what I'm putting out. This is what I know that I can spare. This is the risk I'm willing to take. Meaning, if I lose this, it just is what it is. I'll count it as a blessing towards something else. That money will always come back to me. But if you're so fearful when you do it, like my grandmother would say, scared money don't make money. That's just how it is. Okay. So whether you need to learn, if you're afraid, learn something more about it. If necessary, invest in speaking to an expert that you're guided to. But don't just sit on your behind, give a little bit here and there, and be like, oh, it didn't bring me in what I wanted. Well, you're not putting that much into it. You're pretty much saying to the universe, I'm not willing to take a bigger chance. I don't think my idea or what I'm trying to do is worth a bigger chance. So think about what your physical and your mental is saying. How are you translating these two things, and how do you act upon them when it comes to the physical realm? We're going to get into some cards now to break this down a little bit further. We're going to start off with the tarot, and then I'm going to work my way into getting some messages from your higher self using my soul sister Maruk's gift from the sea. I kept picking up on water energy. So some of you could be Pisces, could be in your chart, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Some of you might live near water. I also feel like some of you speak through rhythmic sounds, which are also water-based, so like dolphins and whales and things like that. You might have that energy's been picking up a lot. I've been communicating a lot with dolphin spirits and whale spirits, and a lot of you guys, whether it's through mermaids or just a lot of connection to water. You might be near a beach. For some of you, this means that you need a cleansing. Okay, so whether it's a salt bath, I keep picking up cleansings. First card we have out, look at that, 8 of Wands. What did I say? What you're trying to do, it's within reach. It's right there. But you're stressing so much over what you pretty much can't see, right? What you can't see is the immediate return. And for the others, for the ones who are overworking themselves to the bone because the process slowed down, you don't even realize that there's a huge rush this month. There's a huge energy that's going to come in. And I feel like a lot of you may not be prepared for it if you keep focusing on the problem, what's going wrong, not taking care of yourself, not paying attention to your body. If you're getting fatigued out of nowhere when normally you have all this energy, there's a reason for that. And you're neglecting everything because you want whatever this is that you're working on to have a quicker result. When the results come, they're going to burst out of nowhere. Are you going to be ready for that? If you're feeling drained and tired and weak and mentally exhausted, or if you're feeling depressed and defeated already, you think you're going to be ready to grab that wand when it shoots out? No, I feel like this volcano under this water represents your own passion. And I want you to understand that earth energy and fire energy are two sides of the same coin. For those of you that are used to my channel, you know how I describe this. For me, fire, wands, the essence of it, it's in between the physical and it's in between the spiritual realms. We manifest and forge things in fire. When you have a fire deep in your belly that can cause the water to boil because the earth is ready to sprout something, is ready to form something, it can be hard to take your time because you just feel this itch of creativity. I'm an artist, I understand, right? But you have to balance yourself in being grounded, because if you're not grounded, your emotions are all over the place. And then when that idea comes to burst forward, it's a hot mess because you don't know what to do with it and you're overwhelmed. Sometimes the divine gives us samples, right? It'll give us a sample of a success. It'll give us samples of a failure to see and to show us, look, how are you going to balance this? If something you're working on didn't take off right away, are you just going to count that as just a failure or just a lesson and maybe you need to reevaluate? Maybe you need to study a little more. If something shoots off and it's really successful like you want, what can you handle? All of that coming in, I feel like the two groups here, if y'all knew each other, y'all would be like best friends, because you have one group overworking themselves that needs to chill out, and you have another group that's getting discouraged just because something isn't quite, bringing in the coin fast enough. Well, that other group knows what it's like when there's a rush of success and getting overwhelmed by that. Now they're kind of nervous because things are starting to sort of slow down. They think that means work harder. The other group, investing their focus and their time into something, but they're not caring too much about self, and they're getting discouraged just because something didn't take off or immediately bring them what they want. I feel like for some of you this is money related. For others, it's something that involves creating and manifesting. So it could be art, it's something that pulls your attention, that you feel like, if I work on this, if I learn this, I'll be set, right? But you got to change how you're going about it. It's coming to you. It's going to come in fast. It's right, for some of you, it's right before you, but you're going to miss it if you don't take care of yourself. If you don't relax your emotions, get grounded a bit more, right? It's not telling you to turn the passion off. I don't want you to confuse that. The turtle next to this fire energy isn't saying, notice he's floating towards her. So, imagery and symbolism is important. He's going this direction. It's not that it's saying don't be passionate. It's just saying don't be so quick to want something to come in fast and not know if you can handle it, because when it comes in, it's going to be swift, it's going to be fast, and you'll get overwhelmed if you don't know how to be grounded. That's the whole point of the turtle and the hares. The hare wanted to run, get there quick, fast, in a hurry, ran out of breath, went through a bunch of obstacles. The turtle was like, I'm just gonna take my time. I know where I'm going. I know which direction I'm going in. I'll get there. I don't need to rush. I don't need to get fatigued right now. And I'll go a little quicker once I get near the surface, because now I have the momentum, I have the energy that was needed to propel forward. This volcano is going to blast her little behind right up out that water, right? Let's see what else we have. What else we got going on here, Spirit? Oh, look at this. Okay. We got the Star card. Cleansing. What was I just talking to you guys about? The Star card, a lot of times in my readings, it's a cleansing of yourself to prepare yourself for what you're manifesting and for it to come in fruition. Look at what's happening here. What you're working on, what you're trying to pull in, it's right there and it's waiting. You need to have some more faith in your ability. You need to have some more faith in it coming, and stop being so discouraged just because something is restricting, or halting a little bit, or because something isn't quite paying off at the time you wanted it to. Call in your victory, call in your success. She's sounding the horn. She is saying to the divine, saying to the universe, I know what I want. I'm manifesting what I want, because I'm of you and you made me capable of it, and therefore I am capable of it. I'm a divine being born of the divine, so there isn't anything I can't achieve and anything I can't handle. I will rest when I need to. I will cleanse my energy when I need to, and I'll get back up and do what I have to do. That's the energy that's coming in here. Look at the magic that's swirling around this person. Some of you might actually be into magic art. Some of you may be, having dreams that involve a lot of messages that are telling you, cleanse spirit, cleanse mind, become aligned. That may sound very familiar to some of you. Cleanse spirit, cleanse mind, become aligned. Being aligned helps you to shift the energies in your direction. This is a very spiritual, it's not only a spiritual image, the Star card is a spiritual card. It's following your North Star. This is destiny. Destiny, the destiny life and path versus the fated path. The fated path is whatever I'm currently feeling right now, especially if it's negative, I let it dictate my way. I don't try to achieve anything past the box. Past this box view, this box image, I stay right here. Everything is, for the most part, predictable. Life is probably just going to go in this bleh kind of way. But that North Star says, I'm willing to step into the unknown. I'm willing to go where I wouldn't have went before, because I trust myself, I trust the divine, I trust where I'm being led. I'm allowing my intuition to activate to its fullest capacity. And I'm taking all that passion, I'm grounding it, and I'm sending that up to the stars and saying, bring to me what is due me. Bring to me my birthright. Bring me the people that I need to help me if I'm overwhelmed by doing it by myself. Help me to maintain in the meantime and in between time. Okay? This is some of what I'm just picking up here. I keep hearing the like seashells of the islands, like if you've ever heard Under the Sea, that bum 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 bum, but it's a different tone. It's not quite that song Under the Sea, but it's like a similar tone. Someone may have seashells on a desk or on a window. It looks like a windowsill. If you don't and you've been thinking about it, the divine says, yeah, get your seashells. Get your seashells. Someone may have found a seashell in an unlikely place too. We have, yeah, answer that call. Use your best judgment. Look at this. You sent the call up. Hey, I'm ready for my wish. I'm ready to manifest what I need. The divine said, oh, are you? Are you sure? Well, I'm going to sound the alarm. And as I sound this alarm, show me what you got. Show me what you're going to do. Are you going to get the rest that you need? Are you going to tap into that self-care that I'm telling you to tap into so that you can truly bring out the best that you have to offer? Or are you going to keep playing with me? The judgment card is coming out here, not just saying I'm sounding the alarm, wake up, but it's also saying use your best judgment at this moment. I feel like some of you know that you should have been taking your time with something. Some of you know, especially the one that's scared of investing money, you either knew that you invested, too little or too much too fast. And it was like, now you're trying to just act like, oh, see, it was a lost cause. But you knew in the beginning, if you would have listened to your intuition and not tried to be so fast with this, or at the very least, listen to your intuition and gain a little bit more knowledge, we wouldn't be having this discussion. That's kind of like what I feel like the divine, like we wouldn't even be having this discussion right now. We're just trying to prepare you to get ready for what's coming. Because once it shoots off, once you've sent us that energy that says, yeah, I'm fully ready. For some of you, I'm going to tell you what I've been saying for a long time in my readings. Get ready to be ready, because not ready is not an option. This is coming regardless. Regardless. Period. You're either going to be ready to grab that stick, or a few of them are going to shoot past you until you finally realize, oh snap, my hand needs to be quicker. I need to not feel so weighed down so that I can grab that opportunity. Because I asked for this. I asked for this to come in. And I received the response. They're waiting on you. Like, and literally I'm like hearing a spirit go, oh, really? Which is funny, all things considered. Look at that. What'd I tell you? Look at this. Ace of Pentacles. That new beginning. Again, for a lot of y'all, this involves cha-ching ching. Some of you might be, as a Virgo, I understand. Some of you might be Virgo, and so you're like, things have to be done in a certain way, and blah, 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 blah. That's slowing down your process, right? Some of you, and for some of you, I don't think that it's so much you want everything in a box per se. It's just order. And so when things don't quite feel like they're in order, you feel like you're in a chaotic situation that makes you have to do extra things to get things back in order. So like, again, running up behind people and double checking their work when you know good and damn well it's correct every time. I'm not saying not to, do the overdrive check to make sure things is cool, but some of y'all go as far as, well, let me just retype it in case the wording was that or that. That's just, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, babe. You're doing too much. For others, you're sitting up here, again, what are you worth to yourself? I want you guys to listen to this real quick, right? And I've heard this, on and off since I was a kid, but someone said it in a way that was so profound. And it was Vision of Mind Valley. And he was talking about, have you really sat down and said to yourself what your worth is when it comes to business? Not your spiritual worth, that's unlimited. That's, all aspects of you are abundant, right? Ace of Pentacles, abundance. But have you sat down and said, okay, let me calculate how much what I do is actually worth. For that person who does everything themselves that's so afraid to outsource, calculate everything you're doing and then notice how much money you're actually missing out on, because you're spending hours working on a part. Like, for example, let's say you're double checking your emails, or you do everything yourself and you're constantly checking your emails, right? Okay, instead of paying somebody to do that, the hours it takes you to go through emails, customer service, you could have been dedicating to making new projects. You could have been dedicating to updating your info on your website, doing anything else, but you're stuck doing that. A job that somebody with enough common sense skills and organization could easily do, right? So calculate that. Go look up how much it would be for someone to just handle emails and just handle customer service. Hypothetically, let's say it's like $12, $13 an hour. You're missing out on $12 or $13 an hour working how many hours doing a job you could have outsourced. Imagine it's building a website. Let's say building a website was $175 to $200. I'm throwing out numbers from people I know who can charge things. Some charge extra depending on how professional you want it, but let's just keep it basic. It's like $175, $200. Okay, now you're sitting here constantly having to re-update the same site over and over because you couldn't get it quite right the first time, spending hours when you could have just paid somebody to do it right the first time. And then all you would need to do is know how it functions. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, have you really sat down and talked about how much the work you do is worth? And then on top of that, have you said to yourself, and this was the key, this man said when he realized what his work was worth, he refused to work below that. So in the beginning of his career, it was about, say, $50 an hour. He refused to do anything that would be below that $50 an hour. So think about that. And for the person who's afraid of investing, think about that. How much are you willing to invest in yourself, not just financially, mentally, spiritually? Both of these groups need to understand that spiritual cleansing is necessary here, and allowing yourself to be open to receive what it is that you're calling for, so that when that call sounds back, you're ready to answer it. Nothing's going to haunt you, right? That Ace of Pentacles is waiting on you. It's not, there's no one else getting in the way of this group's blessings but your own procrastination, or your own overthinking, or your own taxing the body out. If you can't work because you're sick, if you can't get the projects and the things you want off the ground because you done ran your body in and your mind's exhausted, get what I'm saying? Let's keep going. We're gonna get into these messages and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right. Get into these gifts from the sea. What your higher self gotta say to thee? We have what was I just talking about? I'm soothing you while you let go of conscious and unconscious fears as you move forward. What was I just saying? Don't sleep on the kid. I also notice here that the fear involves communication. It involves a little bit more communication than heart energy, but I do see hints of green here. I like to read the gradients. I like to read the gradients of the energies in my mind's eye and in the picture. And I'm seeing slight little hues of green. Someone has a hard time communicating what they're trying to do, like explaining it. And that could be another reason that they're so antsy about following after someone. I'm also seeing a lot of that red, that survival chakra. I'm doing what I have to do to survive. I'm doing what I have to do to keep my head above water. I'm doing what I have to do to try to blah, 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 blah. And again, you're too focused on problems, survival tactics. You're not focused enough on solutions, solving. There are no problems without solutions. There are no questions without answers. Now, sometimes the answers may have to be delayed because you're not meant to know them right away. However, the answers always exist within you, just like you will always be the solution to your problems. Even going as far as being open to receive help from another person, it still starts with you. I'm not trying to get preachy or nothing. We have loneliness. Remember, you're not alone. You have a spiritual team guiding you to your divine plan at all times. And we have water being near the sea again. I keep seeing seashells. I keep seeing seashells on like a table. I keep seeing seashells. It's like in someone's windowsill. There's one this it's really pretty. It's kind of like this color, but it's big. It's about big enough to fit in the palm of the hand. It looks like what we use to smudge ourselves when we are smudging with like sage or sweetgrass. It looks like a shell big enough for that. It's really, really pretty, but it's light. And someone could be about to find this. Seashells could represent something else to you. They have a lot of different meanings, but I'm seeing someone with them in their physical area. You may find a seashell in an unlikely place as well. Take that as a sign from your guides. And look, we have passion. I was just speaking to y'all about passion. I'm reigniting your inner flame and passion for life to inspire you to be excited about life again. What was I saying about that? Let's see, we'll see. Do we have one more, Spirit, before we close it up? I was going to roll some dice for you guys, but I'm already seeing the numbers. I mean, I typically do. I'm seeing the numbers in my mind's eyes. I'm seeing sevens. I'm seeing 77, 71, 81, 89, 86. I'm seeing 63, 54, another 54, 999, 111. So you can write those down, put them in, look up their angel number meaning, or perhaps they're your life path number. I always say add them, you know, for the ones that resonate to you, add them down to the single digit. That in of itself is a message. We have, I'm lifting you out of darkness to remember who you truly are. Birth a new you and a new life. Are you answering the call? You sent the call to the universe, they answer back. You sound the alarm, they sound the alarm back, but are you listening though? They know why they're doing what they're doing. All right, loves. Being led to see some planet energy for y'all. So let's do that. Let's see what planets. What planets got something to say? Ooh, we have the sun. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar there tomorrow. Ooh. Y'all just gonna channel Annie like that? Okay. Some sun energy in here. And we have some Aquarius energy. Once again, feels like that energy of cleansing. We have some Aries energy coming in here. These don't have to be your zodiacs, but they do contribute to the vibration of the reading. We have Taurus. Let's see, we got one more. Sensing one more. Who could it be? We got Capricorn. Got two earth energies here, mixing with that vibration of Virgo energy as well. So when you take the Virgo energy, the Taurus and the Capricorn, and you put that together, lethal. When it comes to money, honey, it's lethal, okay? It's the raw deal. But there's a lot of energy of happiness, a need to cleanse, a need to be more aware, a need to tune into your emotions that's constantly coming in here. I don't want you to look at the zodiac signs that came out in this section as just being in your chart, though that is also important. I want you to look at them for the attributes that they have energetically, metaphysically, okay? Because that's contributing to your reading. It could be something you may need to tap into, that Capricorn energy, when it comes to chilling out, relax, looking at everything from a different standpoint. You might need to tap into that Taurus energy when it comes to thinking about, okay, how can I turn this situation around as far as profits? Because Taurus are very good with their money, honey. Okay, Taurus is the businessman, the businesswoman. Okay, so whether you be male or female, that might be some energy you need to tap into. That passion energy that kept coming in, I feel like it came through with the sun as well, and the sun has that Leo energy, but then we also have Aries here. So I want you guys to like just take a minute to meditate. If you don't know the attributes of these signs, you can look them up real quick. and then see which words resonate. Look them up for their natural energy, not so much the human trait. Because when we get into how those energies translate in a person as an individual, it goes other places, right? So that's why in my readings I always say, could be your chart, could not be. It's the vibration of the reading regardless. That is your reading, my loves. Peace, love, and light.